Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your host, Delano, on the FanWide Podcast. We have some little technical difficulties there, but we are ready to go. We're going to give you another great prospect. I hope you're ready because I'm ready. Now, let's get to it. Again, this is your host, Delano, your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content here on the FanWide Podcast. Today, we're breaking down a very, very good floor general. This is a product of Kentucky basketball. We're talking about a point guard that is upholding the most recent legacy of point guard from Kentucky. So we're talking about Tonie Morgan. We're talking about a high IQ player who has quietly become one of the most productive assist creators in women's college basketball. So if your team or our team, the Washington Mystics, is looking for a guard that can organize an offense, control the tempo, elevate teammates, then Tonie Morgan is an absolute name that you need to know, especially when it comes to the talk that we want to talk, because the potential that she has to fit in with our young core, with our Washington Mystics, is something to really dive into. So let's get to diving into it. Tonie Morgan's measurements, her college production, her strength versus her weaknesses, her WNBA draft projection, her player comparisons, and her fit grade at one of our 6 draft picks is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get into it. Let's roll. All right, so Tonie Morgan, again, is a point guard. She's 5'9". She's a Kentucky Wildcat, but she previously played for Georgia Tech. And that's where I first became aware of Tonie Morgan. And I was definitely surprised. And I was like, she's going to be all right. Now, the archetype for Tonie Morgan, we're talking about a playmaking lead guard, a floor general. And Tonie Morgan projects as a traditional pass-first point guard, a player that keeps an offense flowing, makes smart reads, and maximizes her teammates. She's the type of guard that coaches trust because she limits mistakes and increases offense efficiency. So let's talk about her college production. Through her 4 seasons, Tonie Morgan steadily improved her offense and her command of it and her efficiency. Her career averages are around 13 points a game, 5 rebounds, close to 6 assists, actually. Talking about 46% shooting from the field, and she steadily improved her 3-point shooting. Now, what she's doing now at Kentucky, that's where the major jumps comes in. And this is what we're really, really going to talk about, because this is what actually put her on the map. So Tonie Morgan, as a senior at Kentucky this year, has shown a major jump in her playmaking volume, because she's now averaging 8.4 assists a game while still being able to command 14 points a game while shooting 48% from the field and 41% from 3. Right? Now, these are numbers that you really, really, really got to keep in mind here, because Tonie Morgan, she's not an electric player, but she's a very, very good, efficient player. And when we talk about her assist production, it ranks one of the highest in the nation. And it shows that she can operate a high-level offense and organize it correctly. Now, let's jump back a little bit. Let's talk about her developmental path. So remember, she started off at Georgia Tech, and Tonie Morgan was a multi-year starter. She was a two-time All-ACC level performer. And in her short time in Georgia Tech, she produced over 1,200 points, 500 rebounds, and 400 assists. So that got her on the radar of the coach over at Kentucky. He picked a good replacement for Georgia Amore, I'm trying to tell you. So again, after transferring to Kentucky, again, she has elevated her profile, even becoming one of the top assist creators in the SEC. Her progression shows a steady growth from a combo guard to a full-time lead initiator. Because when I first saw her at Georgia Tech, I saw her as a combo guard. She was able to get points. She was able to mix players up off the dribble. But then she came to Kentucky and just totally changed her game and made it, I would say, more WNBA ready. So let's talk about her strengths. Tonie Morgan's strongest part of her game is her ability to run an offense efficiently. And the keys to her strength is she is able to make plays with instinct at an elite level. She is a strong pick and roll decision maker. Again, she is a high basketball IQ type of player. Efficient scorer inside the arc, controls the tempo, is consistent with her assist. She's able to make other players' jobs easier. And she has a low turnover tendency. So she can protect the ball and make other players better. And she can run your offense. I like it. I hope you do. I know you do. You've been watching. Y'all know what's up. So also, Tonie Morgan is able to process the game quickly and rarely forces bad shots. And that's a trait that any WNBA coach values. And we also definitely know that Coach Sydney Johnson values a point guard that can handle the ball, dictate the offense, and put other players in good places to be successful. Yeah, we know that. Now, again, Morgan is the type of guard who raises the floor of the lineups that she's in. So she just makes them better. Now, again, while Tonie Morgan offers strong floor, there's still some areas to refine. She got to get better in some areas. She has to be able to maintain a consistent three-point volume. She got to shoot it. Even though she's shooting better, she got to shoot it more. She can improve defensively when it comes to her physicality versus bigger guards. And she has to be able to look for her shot more often, because that puts extra pressure on defense. And she's not necessarily considered the most explosive athlete when she's compared to the top tier guard prospects, but she can still hold her own. And let's take a second. We're going to take a cause for the cause. Go ahead and like the video, because we're always giving you some good content, especially when it comes to these draft breakdowns and how they fit with our Washington Mystics. So yes, make sure you like the video. It helps us get all of this Washington Mystic content out to all of the fans that could be hindered by the algorithm. So we got to train that algorithm. By you liking the video, it helps make that happen. Also, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get all of the notifications by turning on that notification bell, and you'll get notified of every time we're dropping a good video or go live here at the FanWire Podcast. We appreciate you for tapping in. We got more to go. Now, Tonie Morgan is starting a trend to be in a late first round, second round draft pick. That's where people are saying where her value is, especially the mock drafts. So we're looking kind of like between the range of 15 to 28 when we're talking about picks in the draft. She's definitely shown what she can do. And that could have pushed her up a little bit in the draft. So she could be at the end of the first round, but we'll see. But she's not, I don't see her getting past the second round. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Because she's definitely on the radar of a lot of general managers. And I'm sure she's on the board somewhere with Jamila Wideman, the general manager of the Washington Mystics. Because again, she has elite assist production. That's over 8 assists a game. She's played against Power 5 starters for multiple years. That's with the ACC, and then taking it up a notch and playing against SEC competition. Now, she has an efficient offensive profile, but she can become better. And she's, with all that being said, she's a proven floor general. Her skill set has been seen, and you can see it on the tape. So if you got any questions, go back and watch her highlights, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, teams, including our Washington Mystics, are looking for a stable backup point guard. And often, that's the target for the tier of guard that we're looking at right now with Tonie Morgan. And let's talk about who her game compares to in the WNBA. Because remember, she's a high IQ guard, and that always impacts winning. Just off the fact of making good decisions and being efficient. Being able to organize an offense. Yeah. Now, we're looking at Natasha Cloud, because her pass-first mentality, her ability to control the tempo, and leadership traits. We're also looking at Taisha Harris, because she's an efficient organizer who keeps an offense structured. Looking at Lindsay Allen, a reliable second unit facilitator type of pathway. Some other comps, size-wise, and ability coming out of college, you can also consider Veronica Burton, because she's a team-first guard with instincts, right? And she's active on the defensive end. So Tonie Morgan could evolve into that type of player. Now, again, her overall archetype, we're talking about a high IQ facilitator, efficient offensive decision maker, a connector guard, a reliable rotational piece. Now, how does she fit with the Washington Mystics? Because we know that's what you came here for. She's going to help with these particular points of emphasis that we need in someone in her projected place in our roster. We're talking about a player that can help with ball movement, someone that's an efficient guard play, decision maker that can complement the core of our team with Sonia Citron, Kiki Irvin, and if Shakira Austin returns. Morgan fits that profile of being a connector guard that improves our lineup, especially from the second unit. Now, we already know that we're saying that she's going to be a late first round, definite second round pick. So we're not even going to talk about our 3 first round picks, because we do have the 4th, the 9th, and 11th pick in the first round. We're not even going to say that. But let's talk about that second round pick, the 19th and the 30th pick. At 19, there can be some value there. 30, That's another good value pick. I don't see her falling to the third round, so we're going to leave that one alone. Now, what role do we see Tonie Morgan if she's drafted by the Washington Mystics? We're talking about a backup point guard, a second unit organizer, and a situational starter. Now, one thing that we also have to consider, if she is brought onto the team, that's going to be a very interesting dynamic because Georgia Amore is also on our roster. She's coming back from an ACL injury, so we still have to see how she fits and how well she's ready to go on day one. And Tonie Morgan can actually give her a lot of competition. And one more thing, they're both Kentucky Wildcat products. There, something to think about. Now, when it comes to Tonie Morgan's career, we're talking about someone that can be a reliable rotational piece, somebody that can play a good amount of minutes off of the bench, someone that has a strong assist turnover ratio, a connector piece that keeps our second unit offense stabilized. And Morgan doesn't need a high usage to impact winning. And that's always a valuable trait for a developing roster, especially since we're rebuilding with our Washington Mystics. Now, if our Washington Mystics want a steady floor general that can stabilize the offense, maximize our young scoring talent, Tonie Morgan makes a lot of sense. It's just a matter of who's available and when they're available, and if we're going to pull that trigger to get them. So she might not have the highest ceiling in the class, but she can definitely be very predictable when it comes to our rotational value. And again, she stabilizes our second unit. She adds depth to our team. She's a high IQ type of guard, and those type of guards stick in the league, especially the ones that can protect possessions and make their teammates better. Now, Mystic fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know, would you draft Tonie Morgan as a late first round pick? Do you think she could be a steal of the second round? Or do we need to target a higher upside guard early in the draft? Let me know. Let me know. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And I'll try my best to respond to as many as possible. Then again, no, I'm going to respond to as many as possible. Not even going to try. That's what we're going to do. So, if you want more Washington Mystics draft scouting reports, make sure that you like the video. It's important. Subscribe to the channel. Become a part of the FanWire Podcast family. Turn on those notifications. That's that little bell. Just click that little bell. Now, we still got a few more players to cover, but we're coming down to the tail end of this series because we're going to have to start talking about expansion draft, who might be gone, who might stay. We have to talk about free agency, and we're going to start a different arc when it comes to our drafts. So we're going to give you some draft boards of who we think is at the top of the tier to, and how it rounds out for the different position groups, your guards, your forwards, your centers. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. And get ready for a mock draft that we're going to do as well. Get ready. So even if, you're not a Washington Mystic fan, we still got stuff that gives you value too. But it's okay. You can become a Washington Mystic fan. It's all right. We'll let you in. Come on. But, hey, I hope y'all ready because we're going to have some more breakdowns to give you. Because who am I? I'm Delano, your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content. But also, let me give you this quick nugget right here. if you're going to be in the DMV on draft night, your boy Delano is hosting our second annual WNBA Draft watch party. We're kicking off at 6:30. Early arrival is strongly suggested. It's going to be at Tom's Watch Bar. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Because we got some things popping. You never know who might pull up. You never know. So get ready, get ready, get ready. All right. I'm out of here. Got some more NCAA basketball to watch. Gone. Catch y'all tomorrow. We're driving a video. We'll see who we talking about. We out of here. Y'all have a good one. Out of here. Gone.